It's the wrong dossier. I wanted to share with you some experiences that I've had. In prior recording, I mentioned that I didn't want to relay some of the experiences that I've had, even though they would in some way legitimize some of my understandings, at least maybe in your perception. But at the same time, it could serve to put you on the narrow path. And I don't want to do that. However, I think that if you have been listening to the recordings that I've been making, then you would be able to hear about my experiences without bonding yourself to them. And consequently, you should be able to go through your own experience and see how I've come to the conclusions that I have based on the underlying intention. For days I'd been looking at this sign, sitting in the town square, I would see many signs, but one of them, it was as though I knew there was something there. But I couldn't see what was there. At least what I thought it was trying to show me. What it was trying to show me should be there was not there. And every day I would sit for several hours observing people and looking for clues to what I didn't really know at the time. I thought I knew, but I didn't know. I was attempting to derive a meaning or a secret understanding from this logo, amongst other logos. Maybe the way that it's swirled. As though it was descending into the pits of hell. Maybe the coloring had some significant meaning. You know, like they tell you that the Royal Dutch Shell logo is actually a sunrise, or how most logos use pyramids to denote the secret societies or the Illuminati. Well, I had been trying to derive meaning from this symbol. I should mention, I guess, what symbol it was and which logo and which company. It's Sears. Sears department store. And I should also preface this with, I didn't want to relay my experiences to you because to you listening to them, they would seem, I guess, potentially too much on the surface, as though, I guess maybe they might not seem as majestic or cosmic as you might maybe be wanting them to be. But I can assure you that with the words that I'll attempt to use to describe them, those words pale in comparison to the true experiences that I underwent. And these experiences were very real. And not real in the rational, neurotic sense that we're trained to perceive our reality as, but anyway, my conscious ego felt like there should be some underlying meaning in, I guess, all of these corporate symbols. That's what they teach you, right? I should be able to see something that, I don't know, corresponds with evil societies or occult rituals. So again, why was I not seeing anything when I was looking? Later on, I began to realize why. So on this one day, I continued to sit in the town square looking at this specific sign, intently, when soon thereafter I began to get distracted by a child. He was playing in one of the water fountains that shoot out of the grates from the concrete square tiles. He was laughing and clapping happily as he ran his hands through his sun-soaked stream of water, which ascended and then descended from the ground on regular intervals. Then my gaze was drawn away from the child to the tourist booth at the corner of the square. I'd seen this booth many times before, or at least it occupied some positive space in my field of vision, at least in the past. But this time I found myself looking at the sign on the front of the booth. And it said, "Information sightseeing tours. Book a tour." The sun was incredibly brilliant that day. The child was having so much fun playing in this fountain. And then, without any of my ego's intention, suddenly the sun's rays began to illuminate several of the letters on the sign. The letters FORMATIONSEE began to shine slightly brighter than all the others.